Beloved villains in medieval Europe. Do not call him a vampire, call him the Avenger. Vlad III, the son of Vlad II Dracula, the ruler of Wallachia. His father was a member of the Order of the Dragon, sworn to defend Christianity against the Ottoman Empire. But reality was far more brutal than any oath. His father was assassinated, and his brother was buried alive by the very boyar nobles of his own land. Vlad was taken hostage by the Ottomans at the age of 12. While children his age were still in school, Vlad was forced to witness the most savage forms of torture. It was there that he understood both the power of his enemies and the weakness and division of his homeland. Vlad remained in captivity for years under the control of Sultan Murad II. It was here that he forged resilience, decisiveness, and leadership. After his release and return to Wallachia in 1448, he became determined to build his own kingdom, and he took the throne in 1456. After ascending the throne, Vlad's first goal was absolute power and vengeance for his father. At that time, the boyars, experts at tax evasion and king swapping, treated the people like disposable trash. Vlad lost all patience and decided on a purge. On Easter of 1457, he invited around 500 nobles and their families to a feast. The greedy nobles could not resist such an opportunity. As they drank and celebrated, Vlad scanned the room and suddenly spoke.
How many princes have you served?
7, 15, 30, 50.
All right then, who wants to play the impalement game?
Impalement? Is there a reward? I want land. Do joint problems get an exemption? Vlad's soldiers immediately surrounded the hall. He separated them into two groups, old and young. The elderly were taken away and impaled at once. Vlad used greased wooden stakes, not too sharp, driven through the body to prolong agony before death. Later, he impaled around 20,000 Ottoman prisoners during the war with Sultan Mehmed II, horrifying even the Sultan into retreat. His actions may be seen as brutal, but to the Romanian people, Vlad crushed internal chaos, eliminated corruption, and protected national independence. He remains a tragic hero in history. Vlad died in 1476. He was killed in battle against the Ottoman forces. Welcome to the Baltic. Meet KLAUS STÖRTEBEKER, the giant who could drain a massive tankard of beer in a single breath. KLAUS STÖRTEBEKER was born in 1360 in the port city of Wismar, part of the Hanseatic League. Some claim he came from minor nobility in Rothenburg, but how did he become a legend of the sea? In 1390, he joined the Vitalienbrüder, a legally sanctioned mercenary group hired to break the Danish blockade and deliver supplies to starving Stockholm. When the conflict ended, KLAUS and his men were dismissed. They renamed themselves the Lake Dealer and became the terror of the Baltic Sea. This was the beginning of KLAUS's pirate life. KLAUS and Goedeke Michaels seized Gotland, turning it into a paradise of excess.
Why stop plundering while the Hanseatics are still rich? Let's keep taking and treat the entire Baltic to a real feast.
After several military crackdowns, Störtebeker and his crew were forced toward the North Sea. The people of Stockholm revered him for saving them during their darkest hunger. By 1401, after years of plundering, Hamburg mobilized all its resources to build heavy warships. The most formidable was the Bunte Kuh, a massive cog ship reinforced with thick armor and elite archers. KLAUS and his crew were anchored near Heligoland, resting. Alarm bells rang through the dense fog. Hamburg's Bunte Kuh emerged like a colossal ghost. KLAUS roared for a turn, but the rudder had been sabotaged with molten lead, frozen solid like death itself. Alone, sword in hand, KLAUS stood on the burning deck until enemies swarmed like ants. He was captured. KLAUS made one request to the mayor of Hamburg. After my head is cut off, however many of my brothers my headless body can pass, spare that many lives. The executioner's blade fell, and KLAUS's headless body rose and passed 11 men. What the hell is this? Where's the head? Am I dreaming? Jan ŽIŽKA was born in 1360 in the small village of Trocnov, southern Bohemia, into a minor noble family. Jan ŽIŽKA lost one eye in a youthful brawl in his home village of Trocnov. Despite having only one eye, he carefully studied how the Teutonic Knights deployed their formations and how they were defeated at the Battle of Grunwald in 1410. It was there that he absorbed critical lessons in defensive warfare. These lessons laid the foundation for his later victories. The revolution erupted. The Battle of Sudemies in 1420 was ŽIŽKA's first legendary victory, proving that peasants could defeat knights. ŽIŽKA was leading a Hussite colonne of only 400 people, including women and children, moving from Plzeň toward the fortress of Tabor. Jan ŽIŽKA and his group were pursued by 2,000 heavily armored cavalry. Full golden armor, 5-star war horses, and we'll take you all. He blocked the narrow pass with wagons and scattered cloths beneath the mud to trap the horses' legs, causing a powerful knightly force to suffer humiliating defeat at the hands of poorly equipped civilians. Hey, your horse just got tangled in my wife's tablecloth. Stay down there and cry. Jan ŽIŽKA defeated the armored cavalry by skillfully luring them into treacherous marshland. Tragedy struck in 1421 at Rabi. While commanding beneath a pear tree, an archer shot out his remaining eye. ŽIŽKA officially descended into permanent darkness. In the winter of 1421, the Battle of Kutná Hora erupted. King Sigismund led an army of around 100,000 men. Jan ŽIŽKA commanded only about 12,000 Hussite fighters. German nobles and merchants inside the city revolted. They massacred Hussite supporters within the city. The situation was truly desperate. The army was surrounded on all sides. ŽIŽKA ordered the wagons into combat columns, with muskets and heavy cannons fully loaded and barrels aimed outward. As night fell, the wooden tanks rolled into the darkness, charging straight into the weakest point of the encirclement. Rows of cannons erupted in fire simultaneously. Boom! Boom! The wagons smashed through tents and fired at close range, shredding the half-asleep Royal Army's formation. The enemy panicked, trampling each other in their desperate escape. Did this guy turn on a map hack or something? How is he shooting like that? Who said he was blind? Step forward and say it again. Before ŽIŽKA, peasants were nothing but cannon fodder for the nobility. When ŽIŽKA appeared, everything changed. He destroyed monasteries filled with the gold of greedy priests, while the poor starved. In 1424, during a military campaign, he died of the plague. For his death, welcome to English history, where power is measured in blood. Richard III was born in 1452, the son of Richard Plantagenet, Duke of York, and Cecily Neville. After his brother, Edward IV, passed away, whispers and slander followed Richard III every day. Edward V, the eldest son of Edward IV, was named heir according to tradition, but Edward V was only 12, and by law, he required a regent to rule in his place. Richard III then became Edward V's guardian. He declared Edward V illegitimate and had the boy sent to the Tower of London. It is widely rumored that Edward V was imprisoned there and later vanished under mysterious circumstances. There is no direct evidence, but Richard III is often placed at the center of theories surrounding the mysterious deaths of the two princes and of Queen Anne Neville. Richard took the throne in 1483, with England shattered by civil war. He was the first king to demand that laws be printed in English, so common people could understand them instead of the nobles' French. He established the Court of Requests to give the poor access to justice. In 1485, the Battle of Bosworth erupted, and tension reached its peak. Henry Tudor's footsteps echoed as wind swept across the fields, carrying the scent of scorched earth from burning battlefields. With grim resolve, Richard ordered his generals to prepare for a fight to the death. We fight for justice, not merely for a throne. Oh, justice! At this point, only the throne remains. Justice has likely fled. Richard led the charge, but betrayal by his commanders, especially Thomas Stanley, fractured his army. As Richard fought fiercely, Henry's forces surrounded him. Richard screamed, "Treason! Treason!" A precise sword strike pierced Richard's back. He fell, dark blood soaking the ground. Henry Tudor emerged victorious and was crowned Henry VII, ending the Plantagenet dynasty. To the people of northern England, he was the best king they had ever known, a defender of the poor. For centuries, no one knew where Richard III was buried. In 2012, archaeologists discovered his skeleton beneath a parking lot in Leicester. Bone analysis revealed a curved spine and at least 11 fatal wounds. Final stop! Meet Cesare Borgia, the most handsome and most dangerous man in Italian history. The illegitimate son of Pope Alexander VI and Vanozza Catanei. Cesare wanted to carve out a kingdom of his own. He was willing to do anything. Rumors claim he murdered his brother Juan Borgia to seize the position of commander of the papal armies, poisoned rivals, and betrayed allies without hesitation.
Good morning, my friend.
Hi. Ow, it hurts so much.
It's nothing, just a mosquito.
Shut down.
Cesare became the first man in history to cast off the cardinal's robe and take up the sword as a warlord. Do not let his handsome appearance fool you. Beneath it lay a body scarred by syphilis and a mind coldly obsessed with calculation. Beyond the sword, Cesare treated political alliances like chess pieces, always thinking several moves ahead as he devoured the entire Romagna region. That ambition exploded into reality between 1500 and 1501. Cesare swiftly crushed the minor lords who had fractured the region and imposed a strong central authority under his control. In 1502, Cesare's own commanders realized he had grown too powerful and formed a coalition against him.
Borgia is too strong. We need an alliance now.
My chicken is elite. Borgia who?
What this?
What?
Instead of marching to war, Cesare played a psychological game. He pretended to forgive everything and invited the commanders to Senigallia to discuss a new campaign. They entered the city relaxed and overconfident, greeted by Cesare with extravagant hospitality. The moment they stepped inside the palace, he ordered his guards to seize and strangle the ringleaders that very night. In a single night, Cesare wiped out the entire opposition without firing a single arrow. The people loved Cesare for his terrifying efficiency. To them, a devil who brings order is better than 10 saints who create chaos. In 1507, after an ambush by unknown soldiers who did not even recognize him, Cesare Borgia died at 31. Hero or villain, that line depends entirely on your point of view. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep exploring the hidden corners of history.